What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode number 48 of Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast. Remember, if you like Xbox or video games in general, make sure to join us usually live every Thursday on YouTube. This episode, unfortunately, can't be live, but we are usually over there, so come check us out. We post every Friday morning on your favorite podcast service if you do miss us. So find us there, like, share, subscribe, drop us an Apple rating over on Apple Podcasts, help us grow the channel, bring you a better podcast each and every week. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and you might notice we got some brand new microphones. We sound better. We don't look any better, but we sound better. You know, me and Amon here rocking the new microphones, and that brings me to my panel today, Amon and Garrett. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great.
That's good to hear, Amon. You sound better than ever. I will say that. Garrett is the voiceless embodiment in the abyss today. For our YouTube watchers, he is not on the screen, but he is here. So you'll hear him every once in a while. But
I'm here in spirit.
here, literally in spirit, he's a ghost. Rest in peace. But guys, we got some stuff to talk about. Not too much Xbox related news. Even though this is an Xbox podcast, I promise that'll make sense when we go forward. But as we do every week here on Project X Talk, we start each and every show by going around the room and asking one simple question, and that question is, "What you playing?" So Garrett, the man that showed up late to the recording, what you been playing?
Um, I actually found like a little flash sale of Sid Meier's Civilization 6 yesterday, so I downloaded and have been doing that. But other than that, not much. Stay same as last week, still chipping away at Psychonauts, and tried a little bit more of Craftopia. It's just not the game for me.
Mm,
It's it made my fetch quest of gathering objects, well, too fetch questy, because the
interesting.
whole point of that game is just to make like the next totem and then
Yeah.
bring it your offerings of, now you can make dye, bring me the rainbow sort of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, having a time with Civilization, even though, like, I'm not gonna lie, I suck outright,
I did.
especially in the beginning.
I didn't know you were a Civ
How can
fan.
you suck at civilization?
Just because like I get too like pushy with my early age, and I always spread like my people too thin. And then there'll be like some barbarian group that comes in like the first 20 turns and takes over like one of my first two cities, and it's like, I gotta keep on remembering to defend.
He's ending his civilization before it can begin.
Yeah, right? And it's just like, yeah, I suck at Civ, but hey, it's a lot of fun. I try.
That's what matters, you know? Live your best life. Kill all your civilizations before they begin.
Yeah, but everybody else, I would not make a good world leader, just so we know now. I would I would kill us.
How are you feeling about Psychonauts 2 now that you put more time into it?
I'm still having a lot of fun with it.
My
It's
man. That's right.
yeah, like platformers, I still get childishly annoyed sometimes when you can't do a simple thing, but hey, it's that's part of the gaming experience, right? So don't get me wrong, I'm not going through it at your pace where it's just like sending the group chat pictures of you 100%ing it within a week. But you know, in my heart of hearts, I try.
I mean, haters gonna hate and ain'ters gonna ain't. Yeah, I believe is the famous quote from one James Franco. But
Yeah, yeah. Hate us
Amon,
because they ain't us.
hate
What?
us because they ain't us. That's right. You know, my man. All right, Garrett. We're on the same wavelength today. Uh, Amon, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What you been playing this week?
So I finally beat the Ascent, and yeah, that game was pretty boring. I would say it
Wow.
was extremely repetitive, almost the same enemy types like throughout the game. Followed a very basic level structure of beat three waves of enemies, one boss, three waves of enemies, another boss, So yeah, it was pretty basic. It kind of reminded me of Doom Eternal. You know, it was more of a just shoot away,
Hold up. Did you say
not really care about the story.
Are you saying Doom Eternal is boring?
Oh no, I'm not saying it's boring. It's
Okay.
like when you're playing it, you don't really care about the story. You're just playing it to rip people open.
That I agree with. That
So yeah,
I fully support you there.
Ascent tried to do that, but with the twin stick shooter, I think, and it didn't exactly work. So yeah, it's like a 5 out of 10 for me.
Wow, that was one of your most anticipated games.
I know, right? Yeah, I was pretty disappointed. I thought the story was gonna be deeper. There were gonna be better RPG elements. It was almost non-existent, but yeah, that was disappointing. I started Dodgeball Academia.
Nice, good choice, good
Loving
choice.
it. It
Yes,
is a
you
great
are. I
game.
told you. I knew
It
you'd
is
love
a
it. I
great
knew you'd
game.
love it. Yeah.
That I don't know how to describe it, but like it's just fun. But yeah, those are the two games I've been playing this week. I still haven't gotten around to beat 12 minutes yet,
No, you're not missing anything.
but yeah, that is on my. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear you picked up Dodgeball Academia. I love that game, like, a lot. Another one I 100% and had to brag in the group chat, you know? In terms of what I've been playing, I've actually played quite a lot this week, guys. I'm going to start off with the one I've played the least, and that's Hitman 2. It's the PlayStation Plus game this month, so I grabbed Hitman 2. It's all right. It's a little frustrating at points. I don't think that I like the idea of having the sandbox, being able to approach situations differently to kill people. I feel like the execution is a little annoying sometimes, where like I get seen in situations where there's no way that they saw me, or like, I don't know. I have to spend more time with it. I've done the prologue in one mission, so I wouldn't say I'm like really opened up. The first mission was kind of fun. It was like a stealth mission. I was throwing squeaky toys to distract people, strangling them in the shower. So that one was pretty fun. The next game that I've played a ton of, and it's a new release. It was one of my most hidden gems last week that we went over, and that's Fist Forged in Shadow Torch. Now, if you follow me on Twitter at the Muffin Mon, for everyone that wants to go follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I posted a drill, but it had a carrot skin on it. And if you don't know this game, you play as a rabbit. So I was like, wow, this game really knows what it's about. You know, it gave you a carrot skin. But this game is great. It's from a Chinese indie studio. It's part of the Hero Project, or the China Hero Project, something. Sony basically went over, found a bunch of independent Chinese developers, and gave them money to put their games on PlayStation. I'm probably going to do a review for this game. I believe it is a timed exclusive. I think it's going to come to other stuff eventually, at least PC, I believe. But right now, I'm pretty sure it's only PlayStation 4 and 5. But it's a Metroidvania. You play as a rabbit. You get a giant mechanical arm. You get to do like arcade combos, beat 'em up. It's a lot of fun. I'm not like the biggest Metroidvania fan, but there's like super good platforming in this, like wall jumping, using your drill to like fly, go underwater. So this game is right up my alley, and you get to play as a rabbit. And y'all know how I love playing as animals in video games. So I'm like the thing. I'm like 10 hours into that, and it says like 33%. So I don't know if that's to 100% because there is stuff like collectibles, or if that's like the story progression. But I'm a decent amount into it. You know, it's a $26 game. I can't expect it to be that long. But I put that down because Tales of Arise. I found out if you switched your location to Japan, you could play it early yesterday. So let me tell you, I have put, since yesterday after work, almost 10 hours into Tales of Arise. And I love it. Like, it's literally all I'm thinking about. I cannot wait to get off this podcast and go play more Tales of Arise.
So tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. So it's the 17th entry in the Tales of series, which is my favorite JRPG series. It's an action RPG. So that means it's real-time combat. They stress combos. So you have a normal attack button, you have a dodge button, and then you have these things called arts, which you string together. So you have a gauge to manage your arts. So I'll do like a few normal hit combos, string in an art, kick them up in the air, do a few more hits, string in another combo, another art. It's kind of, it's like a platinum game almost, I want to say. Like, if you know what like Bayonetta feels like, where you do those crazy combos, that's kind of what they're going for here. But it's, in 10 hours, I've gotten 4 party members out of the 6. You play as, I don't want to give too much away, but you play as like a male. His name's Alphen, but he doesn't know that at the start. He has amnesia. His people are being oppressed by this other race that came to their world and like took them over. And you basically start an uprising, a rebellion. You meet this girl, Sion, who has some sort of curse where she electrifies people that get close to her. But Alphen can't feel pain, so they're kind of like a perfect combo, so they can like go journey the world together. And then
how mysterious.
Yeah. From there,
like typical JRPG-ness.
Yeah. It's a JRPG to the max. From there, you go town to town, meeting your party members, figuring out their stories. Your ultimate goal is to take down like the 5 lords. Well, that's a goal right now, is to take down the 5 lords of the regions that are like oppressing your world. I assume in classic JRPG fashion, that is not the end of the game, because from what I've seen, this game's like 70 hours long, and then you do post game. So Tales, they're always like that. I mean, Tales of Symphonia, to 100% it, you had to do like minimum 280 hours, and that's like if you did everything, 4 playthroughs. It's crazy, but I love.
Okay, so
I'm
we're good
played
for a
Tales
bit
of
before we see that
Berseria.
little tag in the chat.
What was that?
That was the only Tales games I played.
So it'll be a few weeks before you send that 100% thing that slightly infuriates everybody.
So yeah, it would definitely be a while. I've looked at the achievements. There's quite a few grinding ones, like watch 300 skits, make 100 weapons, make 100 or craft 100
Wait,
accessories or something.
How long has your profile been active?
What do you mean?
Because I was checking it the other day, because I'm not going to beat around the bush, chat. We see this 100% thing that he sends us quite a bit, so I was curious. And I'm still like 20,000 more points than you.
Oh, you mean,
I don't
okay.
remember the last game
My
I
gamer
100%.
tag. Yes. Yeah, my gamer tag. When did I get
Well,
my
not
gamer
like 100,
tag?
but like 20,000, I think I had.
So my gamer tag came about in the Xbox 360 generation, and not at the start, like probably towards the end of it, like maybe the last 2 years of the Xbox 360 generation. So 2011, 2010 maybe. It's like a decade old, but yeah, I only have like 55,000 gamer score right now. I had not. I'm gonna tell you right now, Garrett. I did not 100% a game until this year, I believe. Wait, no, that's not true. I had one on the 360, and that was FIFA 14. But I did not 100% any game in like the last decade, and then this year I've 100% like, I don't know, 10 or something.
Yeah, you've been knocking him out of the ballpark. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I don't know. My friend started doing the Assassin's Creed series where he was 100%ing those, and it kind of just started, awakened something in me where I'm like, I want the platinum if I can get it. I want the 100% if I can get it. So now I really pay attention to those achievements and those trophies, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to get these. Obviously, if they're too hard, I give up, or like if they're really grindy, I don't want to deal with it. But I'm going for it. It's a good time.
Yeah, I think like the last game I 100%ed was like, Assassin's Creed, before they started doing like the whole, there's now 350 flags, which was pretty much since like the beginning, but I think it was like number 3 when I stopped. But yeah, I can't do that no more.
He
Don't got the time for like every flag on every building.
He just did Odyssey. He keeps going back for the, or no, yeah, he's done Odyssey. He's done Valhalla. He keeps going back for the DLC. I think he's done one more. I think he's on Syndicate right now, and he doesn't like it very much. So I don't know if he's gonna stick that one out. But yeah, I mean, I think the first one might have been Scarlet Nexus, and then I've just been on a roll with Xbox games lately. Anyway, PlayStation's a different story where I started strong at the back in November with the PS5 release, and I've kind of fallen off platinuming
Didn't you
games.
also do Mass Effect Legendary Edition? You did that as well, right?
I did. I 100% did Mass Effect 1 and 2. I didn't do 3, and then for the Legendary Edition, I'm missing 5 achievements total.
Right. Oh, go back and get them.
Well, because I think they're ones that require like multiple playthroughs, right? Like certain conversational outcomes.
No, not for those. The only ones I'm missing 3 achievements are do all 3 games on Insanity, and then I'm missing 2 in Mass Effect 3, which are just DLC like conversations that I didn't go to the area and do them, like the little shopping center that unlocks in one of the DLCs, because I had never been there. I didn't play the Mass Effect 3 DLC, so it's like brand new. I didn't know about it. So I could go back and get those. I mean, I could go back and get all of them, and maybe I will at some point if I feel like suffering through Insanity, but it wasn't really on top of my priority list. So, yeah, a little achievement hunter coming on here, guys. But yeah, Tales of Arise, I can't wait to get off this podcast with you and go play more. I'm very committed. I love this game already. I mean, we'll talk about it a little more. I got a little news roundup here. If we wanna go through the news, guys, dive deep into the library, as we do.
Yeah, let's move on.
All right. So, story number 1: Alan Wake remaster is real. The long-rumored remaster of Alan Wake has finally been announced. We saw the official trailer get dropped, I believe, yesterday, but it did show up, spoiler alert, at the PlayStation 5 Showcase that we just got done watching about an hour ago. So, pulling from Tom Phillips at Eurogamer, Remedy has officially confirmed that Alan Wake Remastered will be released this fall on PS4 and PS5, Xbox consoles, Epic Game Store. This marks the first time PlayStation console owners will experience the previously Xbox exclusive title. This remaster will include both DLC chapters, 4K visuals, improved textures, improved character models. I saw the trailer. I think it looks really good. But I like Remedy a lot. I think Control is a fantastic game. I loved how they connected Alan Wake to Control. So this isn't a full price title. It is coming in around, I think, $30 is what they're asking for it. So Aman, I'm gonna throw it to you. You got any interest in checking this out?
Oh.
Why not?
Well, like, I've played Alan Wake before.
Oh, you have?
Do I really need to play the? Yeah. Do I really need to play the remastered? Unless it's like insanely improved visuals. I'm not gonna check it out unless it's that.
I mean, did you see the trailer? It is insanely improved visuals.
Doesn't look like, the jump from RE2 and then RE2 remake.
Oh, that's a whole different. That's a whole
yeah.
different ballroom, you know.
That's what I expect from remastered and remakes.
Garrett, what about you?
I was a little disappointed.
For Alan Wake, there's not too much I could say. I'm not gonna lie, it never interested me.
Wow, you guys are missing out on a good title.
Yeah, like I was thinking about it, but to be honest, that was always my Alan Wake to me was a weird X-Files version of Uncharted. Right? Like that was the competition answering call.
I
am I
have
wrong?
never once heard Alan Wake compared to Uncharted.
Yeah, that was always like it was
Nothing like Uncharted though.
No, yeah. Who did you
Yeah,
hang out
no.
with?
I'm sorry, that was just how it was explained to me. Sorry. Yeah, no.
No, I mean,
So maybe I will go try it out now.
so
Because I heard that it was just like an over the
It is.
shoulder
It
camera
is,
third
yeah.
person with slight sci-fi elements. And I was like, oh,
yeah, it is.
I could go up
You
and
nailed it.
skip that.
You nailed it. No, you're right. That's what the game is. I wouldn't describe Uncharted like that though. Is my thing.
Oh, okay. Oh.
I'm probably not gonna pick it up just because I don't really care to replay Alan Wake. Like Aman said, it was good the first time. I'm excited for new stuff from Remedy. I don't really have interest in going back to Remedy's old stuff. So probably a skip for me, but it will launch October 5th for anyone interested on everything. So if you haven't played it, this is a good time to jump in. You'll probably get the best Alan Wake experience. We have barely any news stories this week, guys. It's going to be a little rapid fire here. So story number 2, and I do have an addendum to this story because I saw some breaking news before we started recording. So story number 2, Halo Infinite will launch with 23 maps, according to a recent data miner. Pulling from Hope Bellingham at Games Radar, who has the roundup. According to this data miner, who goes as Serasia4, Halo Infinite will launch with 23 maps across both arena and big team battle game modes. They also claimed that the next flight will take place in October, and we will see 2 of the big team battle maps in this flight. Now, my addendum is right before we went live, 343 tweeted that the next Halo flight is the end of September. I believe they said the 23rd. And that you have to be registered by September 13th in order to be eligible for the next flight. So he did get that one wrong, not by that much. So Garrett, I know Amon doesn't give 2 shits about Halo, so I'm gonna go over to you. You gonna try to get into this flight? I know we didn't get into the last one. Tom did, and 23 maps. What are you thinking?
23 maps. I was actually thinking about that, like, because I saw on Twitter some people were complaining immediately after it came out, and I was like, I think that's more than Halo 1 and 2, right?
That's a lot of maps. That's more than...
Yeah, like, that's quite a
maps is a
big...
lot. Like, Rainbow Six launched with 6 maps.
Yeah.
Call of Duty launches with 8
like,
maps each
somebody,
year.
somebody's in front of their computer, right? I'm just in front of my phone. I don't want to accidentally leave, but, like, somebody just want to type in, like, Halo 1, 2, and 3 maps that launch, because I think it might be, like, multiple games added together at this point.
Oh, probably. I mean...
Yeah. And, like, the fact that some people were complaining about it, I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah, I believe this whole thing started because people were talking about how Call of Duty Vanguard, I think, is launching with 20 maps. So, like, they have a good chunk over there as well. And then this data miner, I'm not going to call them a leaker because I don't know if they're true. This data miner came up and was like, hey, Halo's launching with 23 maps. So, you know, Halo ain't got to worry about Call of Duty. We got more content over here for multiplayer, and it's free as opposed to paying for Vanguard. I think that was the interaction on Twitter. 23 is a lot. Like, that's a lot.
So Halo 1 launched with 6 maps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halo. And then Halo 2 was 10, I think.
Amon just pieced out for some reason, so you're all seeing my lovely face.
Goodbye, Amon. Hello, Amon.
I don't know why I did that, but regardless, yeah. So Halo launched with 6 maps. Halo 2 and 3 both had map packs, so they definitely didn't, launch with the most. I remember specifically Halo 2, you had to go buy. Well, you might be able to download it, but I know that they sold a disc for the map packs for Halo 2 because I had it, like the DLC.
Yeah, those were the crazy times back in the day.
So 23 maps is a lot. That's a lot of environments to, like, memorize. You have to know, like, what weapons spawn on what map, and that's hard for 23. Like, that's gonna take a long. You're gonna have to play in order to get, like, your strats down for every map.
They're also doing the season thing, right? So we can expect more maps.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. I would be very surprised if we did not get more maps for Halo Infinite, considering they really are stressing this is a live service game that's going to evolve over time. I'd be hard pressed. I mean, I imagine they'll be free because they're making all their money on the battle passes. But even then, this game, like, when I go into Master Chief Collection, I don't remember half the maps I'm playing. I put it for every Halo, and then I'll just boot into a map. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm playing right now. Like, what game is this from? I have to, like, open up the HUD and be like, I think this is Halo 3. I think this is Halo 4. It's all a little much. So 23, that's fine with me. I'm not one that's out here like, give me 50 maps. All right. We have two more news stories before we get into our little fun topic here. Story number 3 is a short one. Football Manager 2022 is launching day one on Xbox Game Pass on November 9th. Both the PC and console version of the most popular football manager simulator in the world is coming day one. I tried Football Manager last year. I've played Football Manager in the past as a big soccer fan. I do like managing. It's kind of like FIFA career mode, but more in depth for the management aspect, which is
Way more in
yeah,
depth.
way more in depth, which
Way
is
more in depth.
which is cool. But like Aman, you're in the UK, obviously a bigger football fan base over there than in the States. People lose their mind for Football Manager, right? Like they
Yeah. Football Manager and FIFA are big here. They're very, very big. So yeah, I think this is a really good get for Game Pass.
I mean, it's on PC too, which is probably where most people play Football Manager. So I think that's a massive incentive for this fan base to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, definitely.
Garrett?
Have you even I tried to get into Football Manager last year. I was just like overwhelmed with the amount of information there was, the amount of things you had to do before each game. The transfers were just complicated.
Yeah, no, it's been a few years since I've dived into Football Manager, and I certainly remember like the actual gameplay when you go to play matches. It's like basically like little dots moving around. Like it's nothing super fancy. The actual game is a lot of like spreadsheet management almost. It's like how much do we want to pay here? Like what bonuses are we giving people? You really feel like a kind of like an accountant for these clubs making deals, and it's a whole thing. And then you know there's more to the football aspect. Obviously, you can development plans and actually figuring out who's going to play where and how to make your team win with tactics, which I do like. I do like the tactical aspect of football, but it is very overwhelming, especially because you don't get to control the players unlike FIFA, which is kind of why I lean more towards FIFA, because I can actually influence what's going on the field and not have to figure out the algorithm to make it work. Garrett, I kept seeing you unmuted. You wanna throw something in here?
Oh no, I was just sort of marveling. There was just a few little pickup points. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know it was all about like spreadsheet management and shit. That'd
Yeah.
probably make me actually want to pull out my hair. But well, no, just like I paid for a accountant experience. My God,
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
Kind of. You have to
But,
you have to balance your transfer budget, and you have to be in the balance the spreadsheets, like, oh, did we spend more than we're going to make in shirt sales or whatever?
Yeah. No, but I was
It's a
also
lot of
gonna
that.
say, like, if they go through the right routes for the price of those two games, they pretty much could get it on Game Pass for like what, 2 years if you do it right nowadays?
Probably, yeah.
Because like some people are still figuring out like the $1, $2, or $3 options.
Yeah, absolutely. Game Pass is I'm really wondering when they're going to take that $1 option away, because people exploit it so hard. They're like, yeah, I bought 3 years of Xbox Live Gold on CD keys for $13 and then signed up so I'm getting a $280 deal for $1. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that did that. I I got on the board before I smartened up to it, but yeah.
A lot of my friends, especially on the PC side, heavily exploit
Oh yeah.
that $1 deal.
Yeah. So, story number 4, guys, and then we're going to get into the fun topic. It's just Tales of Arise review roundup. I got to talk more about Tales of Arise. It launches today on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. The latest entry in the long-standing JRPG series takes the series in a new direction with a change of art style and one of the longest periods between releases we have ever seen for the franchise. Early reviews show that this might be bearing fruit, as Tales of Arise is scoring incredibly well. As of the time of recording, Tales of Arise currently sits at an 88 on Metacritic and OpenCritic, with Windows Central saying, quote, it sets a new gold standard for JRPGs. So I have went on about this game already, but the fact that it is scoring ridiculously, like the highest reviewing entry in the series, 88 is like Game of the Year contender scores. That's up there with Ratchet and Clank, Psychonauts 2. Amon, you're more of the JRPG guy here. Does this make you want to jump in?
Yeah, definitely gonna jump in on this. I was hesitant on Scarlet Nexus because the reviews weren't as good as this. Yeah, definitely. I like it. I like Tales of Berseria a lot, so definitely gonna pick this up.
I will tell you. Oh, go for it. Go for
There's
it.
another game that's. All right, you go ahead first.
Oh, I was gonna say I will tell you. I think this game is better than Scarlet Nexus. I did like Scarlet Nexus a lot. I 100%ed it, but even 10 hours in, I think that this game is way better than Scarlet Nexus. The combat system and story are way better, in my opinion.
Yeah, so what I want to say, Life is Strange, the new one.
Ugh,
That's also been getting some crazy reviews.
has it? I didn't pay
Reviews look
attention
really
to
good.
it.
Yeah, it was like all nines, I think.
Wow. Are you a Life is Strange guy?
No,
No.
I haven't played the first ones either.
Garrett, do you like Life is Strange? I'd find it hard to believe they're your type of game.
It's not letting me unmute. Okay, wait. There we go. No, not. Not the slightest. Like, I only recently gotten into story games. Like, I just tried like one playthrough of that Until Gone with
It's a good
my
game.
buddy on his computer. Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's a new genre to me. It's seems very like, yeah, Friday night with a six-pack of beer type of game.
Yeah, I
Just,
feel
like,
that.
go through it with some buddies.
Yeah, you
All
were.
right, guys. Next choice.
Yeah, you were the one that brought up last week. House of
The
Ashes,
Dark
right?
Anthology.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Dark Anthology, the pictures anthology. Until Dawn's great. I think that's a fun game, and like you said, the relaxing with people, figuring it like what choice should we make. That is I think a fun, making a party game into a game that isn't a party game.
Yeah,
So
but yeah. So it's on that list, but there's too many good games coming out right now, to be honest. I'm busy
yeah,
for the next few months.
it's fair. Well,
Ooh, can we throw a topic in?
what you
I
got?
don't know if you guys discussed it last week, but Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. DC fandom.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till DC fandom actually happened to discuss it, but they are confirmed to be
It
there.
just got announced they're gonna be there with more gameplay and stuff. So
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks, Batman, for once again gracing us with your ever-present presence.
Garrett
God.
does not like Batman.
He's boring and overused. He's wrung out like a rag, and we keep
Wow.
using him.
he is overused. He is overused. I'm gonna agree with that. But he's not boring.
No, it's just
He's
the
not
whole
boring.
philosophy behind him. Like, one day when we're dry on content, I'll just go into an argument with Amon about how, like, if you actually sit down and think about it, he's just like the dumbest character ever.
Wow. I mean,
What?
there's a super villain called Calendar Man, and I don't know if ever is the right argument here.
Well, no, just like fundamentally for what he can bring to the table to what he actually does is so fractured and flawed. He is just a make work issue with daddy issues.
Wow. Man, I did not know you hated Batman so much. I mean, okay.
Wow.
If we're actually
He
on
hates
topic.
superheroes in general. He hates
Nah,
DC
he likes
heroes.
yeah,
Well,
DC, yeah.
Yeah, well, no,
Hate
it's just
DC.
like
I don't know
DC
why.
is just like they're like I don't know, they just seem childish and needlessly broody to me, and they all get
What do
like
you mean DC
so.
seems childish? The comics are way darker than Marvel comics.
Well, no, just because like I'm from a sideline perspective, I don't go hardcore into the comics, but all right, I'll just skim the issue. Batman, if he was more intelligently done, do you not think that with all of his money, he would actually just like buy Arkham and properly lock away these individuals so he doesn't have like a, oh, Scarecrow's out for the 50th friggin' time because I keep putting him back into the same place and he keeps getting out of the same place. Like, what is Arkham made of? Is it made out of Swiss cheese? How do these people keep getting out?
I,
And
f-
then he gets out and he
I
goes
can't
all
argue with
through it
that.
again with some weird, mysterious goal. It's like, dude,
I feel like
like
this could
Tony
apply to
Stark's
most
parents
superheroes,
died and he
though.
not really. A lot of the Marvel ones is like, yeah, parents died, but I'm cool and shit, and I moved on from my stuff. Then there's Batman who's like, yes, Scarecrow, I'm locking you up for the 30th time so I don't have to bring up my parents' issues. Wah, wah, wah. I'm gonna go cry into $1 billion.
Oh my god. Oh my
And it's like, oh
lord.
my god. Grow up, Batman. If there was more thought process done to that universe, or like how I said before, if they dropped Punisher off in Batman City for a week, no, that shit would be done.
I
There'd be like the Joker running for his life down the street, like this guy actually kills, running away.
bullets flying by.
Yeah, just like bullets raining down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like it's
good.
just
I
Okay,
could,
well, so you've only seen your problems with Batman. What about other DC characters? Why do you not like Shazam?
Shazam. You mean like the kid that was specifically made just to make other children believe that they could be superheroes too? You mean like the
uh,
publicized Make-A-Wish Foundation?
What isn't that what
Like,
Spider-Man is?
yes. Oh my God.
what?
Spider-Man? Like the only thing that bugs me about him is how they went like a little bit too crazy into the multiverse. Other than
No,
that, like he
no,
had a
no. I
good
love it.
proper
No,
start,
'cause
but then
that's
like,
no,
yeah,
no.
it's just like Spider-Gwen. Like I don't know. I got my own feelings on like the whole craziness of the Marvel DC thing, but I definitely have more issues with the DC universe. Another one
We
that
should
annoys
have
me off the
an
top of my
episode
head is
dedicated
I
to me
think
versus Garrett.
like the Flash, I think is
Oh, I
another
was like, you
fundamentally
better not
annoying
fucking
person.
say the Flash. You better not fucking come for
No, like
Barry
he
Allen.
seems good, but I don't like the fact that like he's the fastest person on Earth
Yeah, he is.
until the next episode. And then he's gonna find some inner power that makes him a little bit faster. And then we finish the episode. But guess what? Next episode we'll find somebody a
Well,
little
There's
bit
more to Flash than
faster.
that.
are we?
There's way more
Oh
to
yeah,
Flash than
are
that.
we talking about
And then he
the
finds like a
garbage?
different speed verse, right? Like that's sort of how like every from when I watched like the little bit of the show and see him in movies, that's more or less his character arc. He finds somebody that's faster than him. He finds a different speed verse or some sort of thing that lets him go a little bit faster. He overcomes the evil and learns something about himself on the way. Then there's somebody a little bit faster after a little.
I mean,
Half of Flash's villains aren't even speedsters.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, and other than like who else?
There's
Off the top.
Captain Cold, Gorilla Grodd,
Yep, Gorilla
Oh yeah,
Grodd,
there
big
was like
one.
Boomerang.
another episode I watched with like a glue person.
A glue
Is that like
person.
Blue
yeah?
person.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't give the time of day to DC Universe. I watch it when other people are.
I
There was
just
a person who
We
like
watched the
stuck
Suicide Squad.
stuff.
I won't
No,
stand
I
for
was
the
meaning to.
Flash. I won't stand for the Flash disrespect. I mean, he's the best DC hero, hands down, in my opinion. But that's just me. Um, if we're gonna go back on topic here, away from your hatred, Gotham Knights. Super excited for that game. I'm on. I can't wait to
Yeah,
play.
they released a new poster for Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
All four of them are walking.
Yeah,
Then in the shadows, you see Batman.
yeah,
You literally see Batman.
yeah. I just want to play as Nightwing. Like I love Nightwing. I think he is the best Batman character for me anyway. Like the most intriguing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love Nightwing. Obviously, you do. You have a profile picture of Nightwing. But I don't care about Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. I don't think the Suicide Squad is that interesting of a group. I know that.
It could have been interesting, but they just used like the four most basic characters.
Yeah, and like,
For Suicide Squad, the only
yeah,
one that interests me is that polka dot dude from the commercials.
Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, like it's just
He
like,
was
why
phenomenal
is
in the
that
movie,
guy
though.
there?
He was
It's
phenomenal in the
just
movie.
like,
I haven't seen the
I'm
movie
so
yet.
curious what.
I'll watch it,
Yeah,
but in terms of the game doesn't do anything for me. I feel like it always just turns into like a Harley Quinn love fest when you're talking about the Suicide Squad because Margot Robbie was like the standout in that shit movie. But I don't know. It's like a live service game, right? Is what it's rumored. So like it really does just put me off, especially with what we've seen with Avengers. I'm like, I don't want a DC version of that. Like you couldn't even get me to play the Avengers, Marvel, which I love. You're not going to get me to play DC's version of it. So,
Yeah, I agree.
but we will definitely
Well,
talk about that when
talking
fandom
about
happens.
Avengers, Spider-Man's finally getting revealed like next month.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Or
getting
the-
added to PlayStation in the winter, right?
Yeah, I mean, it only took them about 2 years.
I mean, that whole game is a train wreck. So I don't really like to talk about Avengers much. I like to pretend it doesn't exist. And but if we are going to talk about Marvel, What If this week sucked ass. No spoilers, but it sucked ass.
Hey, you didn't like this week's episode?
The
I liked it.
zombies, no, worst episode of the
No.
series so far. It was fucking awful.
Oh.
Doctor Strange
I
is
hated-
definitely my favorite
First episode was the
so
worst for me.
far.
And I liked the first episode.
I think that was the weakest out of all of them. And then episode 5 would probably be second. What's your
No,
favorite
man,
episode?
Zombies was pretty bad.
Yeah.
It was the one that I was most excited for, but it was
Me
definitely
too.
my biggest letdown.
Me too.
I definitely see where Tom's or Kevin's coming from.
Yeah. Well, welcome to
What
our
was your favorite episode?
Marvel podcast. My favorite episode was episode number. Was it 2? Was the Star-Lord one with T'Challa?
Yeah,
That's
two.
the best
Yeah.
one.
There.
That one was really
But
good.
if we're going for full derailment here, I also want to say that the last episode of Rick and Morty blew my socks off a bit.
I don't watch Rick and Morty.
That's
Do I?
come on.
I know that Christopher
Jesus
Lloyd
Christ.
is playing Rick, right?
Yeah,
In
I don't
the
know.
new live action one?
Like-
yeah.
There's a live action one. I'm so out of the loop
No,
on Rick and Morty.
they had an artistic commercial and everyone's freaking out and it's like, oh my God, Christopher Lloyd is freaking Rick.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not even sure if there is going to be a live action. There was a 10-second artistic commercial.
I do want to
That's all that we
say.
know.
I do want to say before we move on away from Marvel and this derailment of the podcast, Shang-Chi was amazing. Great movie.
Agreed.
Everyone go see it. We need, Marvel's really committed to this whole diversity aspect of their movies, and they're still amazing films. Like they are smashing it out of the park. Aquafina, I did not know she was so funny. Like that movie,
Aquafina, yeah.
she had
was
me-
hilarious in Crazy Rich Asians.
I didn't see that movie.
Yeah,
this
I
is like my first real experience with her, and she had me dying like the entire time. I can't.
She was great.
So that's just my little tangent, little plug there. Go support it so we can see more of that character. But guys, let's get into the meat of the show now that we've derailed it and had these little news stories. So while we are primarily an Xbox podcast, this is for all the listeners out there, we do often do reactions to bigger gaming showcase, like you see where we over the summer reacted to Ubisoft and EA and other big press conferences, some of which didn't deserve our time because they were awful. Therefore, the rest of this show is going to be dedicated to Xbox's competition. We're going to change out the green for the blue and go over to the other side and run through the PlayStation 5 showcase that just ended a short while ago. So, if PlayStation isn't your jam, you can feel free to turn it off at this point. If you want to know from an Xbox versus PlayStation, if you're a console warrior, even though we don't do that over here, what's going on the other side of the park, feel free to stick around. We're going to lay out everything, and you can go watch the showcase. You can watch along. You can get our reactions. But we're going to kick it off. I want everyone's overall initial impression of the showcase. What did you think? Don't go into any games. Just you can give me a rating. You can give me big overviews. So Aman, what did you think of the showcase?
I would give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Started off very weak, but ended with a bang.
Okay. All right.
That's what
All
I'm gonna
right.
say.
Garrett, I know you were watching it. What have you seen there, buddy?
I can't really say a damn thing about it. Like, I went to tune in because I told you guys, I was like, oh, because with our time difference, I'm like, okay, it turns on at noon here. And then
Nope.
I click on the IGN one, and all it was telling me was like, hey, the show starts in 55 minutes. So I was like, okay. And then last thing I remember, I zonked out when it was 30 minutes to the show, and then woke up and I realized I was 20 minutes late to our own show.
Great. Well, all right.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a primarily Aman and me discussing PlayStation, but
I'm just listening. I'm
feel
like an
free
active
feel free to ask
listener
questions.
at this point. Yeah.
Feel free to ask questions. My overall impression, I'm pretty similar to Aman. I would give it like a 7 out of 10. I don't think it was the best showcase. I think it kind of got saved by the end of the showcase. I think there was a lot of stuff in here that did not do anything for me, and the showcase honestly could have been like 15 minutes long, and it would have had the same reaction. Like all the
Ooh.
positives could have fit in 15 minutes. There were a lot of negatives, and I'm not saying that's like an Xbox fanboy, but like Xbox's E3 showcase was way better than this, in my opinion. So we're gonna go into it now. It opened with a city skyline, a beautiful looking skyline, people playing chess. You see a shot of Nathan Drake, bunch of people doing stunts in cars, and my reaction is, what the fuck is happening? I don't understand what's going on. Turns out it
You
was.
know what I thought of that?
Yeah, what?
I thought they were like gonna tease PlayStation All Stars
I thought it was gonna be
because we
something
saw
like
Nathan
that, yeah.
Drake, Horizon. We saw Aloy, saw Kratos.
And like the
Yeah, I thought
crown,
it was
they were
gonna be
playing chess, it was like people competing against each other. I thought it was going to be something like that, like a multiplayer game. No, it was just a general ad for PlayStation. Just said play has no limits, and then that was it. They wasted 5 minutes of the showcase on that. Interesting choice. I don't know what else to say about there. Then we had Jim Ryan show up, president and CEO of Sony Interactive. And I thought he was about to say, we believe in generations, but he didn't. He said, we believe in, I forget what he said, but I was like, almost, I was like, oh, is he about to meme himself again? But he just hyped up PlayStation and the fans. Then we get into the show proper. First game reveal. You see Sony Entertainment Interactive. You see Lucasfilm. Then you see Aspire. And we've heard about this before. Aspire making a KOTOR remake. And I was like, there's no way is it showing up here. And it did. Fucking Knights of the Old Republic remake confirmed. And at the end it says legend, or says a legend remade for PlayStation 5. Which leads me to believe this is at least a timed exclusive. Which is
It's a confirmed timed exclusive.
it's a confirmed time exclusive. This is fucking bullshit, in my opinion.
Xbox, come on! Why didn't you go get it first?
Knights of the Old Republic is
How
not
could you let-
associated in any way with PlayStation. How could Xbox let this happen? One, and two, the fact that it is an exclusive, and I think is absolute nonsense. This is Knights of the Old Republic. This game should not be exclusive to any platform.
It's literally synonymous with the original Xbox.
Yes. Garrett, do you have
As an Xbox fan, I was disappointed.
yeah? Do you have any fond memories of Knights of the Old Republic?
Yes, I do. I'm a little hurt that you like had to open this up, man. I didn't watch the show, and now I'm sort of glad that I didn't. Um, Thoughts off the top of my head, I would have to say first off, PlayStation is sort of known and has a reputation for their misleading marketing. So I'm not gonna hold my breath until they come out and themselves say like, yes, this is definitely gonna be a PS5 exclusive for yada 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 time. Um, It's a travesty, and I wonder how much they spent on it, to be honest. Because like there was that article, for some reason, $633 million is sticking out in my head, and I feel like a KOTOR remake, and not even like I don't think it would be like a remake, but actual like fully done, right? Because you guys watched it,
Yeah,
not me.
this is a
But
full from the ground remake.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was guessing. I was like, with the time it's been, it's not gonna be an update. It's gonna be like a full redo. So like that's a lot of money. And I bet you like PlayStation fans don't want to admit this, but Xbox and PlayStation spending is just in two different leagues. So I could see this taking like if it is timed exclusive, it is going to be a huge chunk of their year's money.
No, yeah. So we knew this was coming. Mr. Matty Plays has talked about this extensively about how Aspire's doing the remake. It was only a matter of time for it to be announced. I did not expect it to be a PlayStation timed exclusive. I think that hurts a lot because, as Amon said, it is associated so heavily with the original Xbox and the Xbox brand. My only reaction to this is like, if this is a timed exclusive, Indiana Jones, we can stop talking about it. Like, Indiana Jones is going to be at least a timed exclusive. If Lucasfilm is giving KOTOR to PlayStation, it'd be ridiculous
Yeah.
for Xbox not to at least keep Indiana Jones for a year.
Yeah, I think it's just about money. Lucasfilm want money. If Xbox paid them enough, it could also be a full exclusive.
It's just disappointing. Is my over? I mean, not the game. I'm hyped the game exists, like it's awesome, but I'm just disappointed
Yeah,
that it's locked away on PlayStation. Not that it affects me because I have everything, but there are Xbox fans that have been waiting for KOTOR remake, thinking it was going to
yeah,
be
this is
multi-plat.
probably my biggest push yet to get a PS5.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
good luck finding one, but
Well, it's just never really been on my to-do list. It doesn't have like too much in-game options, but KOTOR. Ooh.
yeah.
Mm.
Well, moving on from the disappointment of KOTOR, we then got Shift Up Second Even Studio. I don't know who this is, but you have an anime looking girl with a very defined feature set, anime as it's anime. She was fighting some giant grotesque monster thrown into space, and I literally wrote down this game is anime as fuck. It's a third person action adventure game. Shocking, I know. The girl's name is Eve, and I was like, as soon as I heard that, I was like, is this Parasite Eve? Like, are they really doing Parasite Eve? Like, remake or sequel? No, it's called Project Eve is the name of the game, and I think it looks sweet. I know I was just kind of like joking around, but like it looks awesome. I'm down for this one. This one actually, like, I was like, at this point I was like, okay, this showcase is starting pretty strong in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the game looked fun. Um, the action looked similar to FF7 remake. Yeah, looked fun. I never heard of the studio before, so
Yeah, I have no idea. Garrett, probably not one you have much to say about.
No, from what you said, there's big boobs and tentacle monsters, so it'll sell at least a million or two copies.
more or less.
All right, this next one might appeal more to you. 2K presents Tiny Tina's Wonderlands gameplay reveal. It looks like Borderlands, but in addition to guns, you can also use magic and looks like some melee weapons like giant hammers. And it releases March 25th, 2022. You-
Okay.
Sick.
Oh, so am I doing opening thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm not a
I I
Borderlands
have
fan.
s- I have slight thoughts that this is what's it called? Like you know how Far Cry sort of started as a tech test before it was a game?
I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like it was like Far Cry was originally like a software. It was like a prototype that they could send to other development companies to show like open landscape and taking different outposts and things. Then people wanted it to be like an
Wow.
actual game in
Interesting.
and of itself.
It's kind of
Little Far
like
Cry
how
5.
the Forgotten City started as a mod for Skyrim and now it's a full game.
Yeah, but I was gonna say I sort of get like the same vibes with that, and I think it is Gearbox's version of like, okay, we want to be profitable, but we still want to try new things with the magic and the money and whatnot.
Hmm.
So like, make it a spin-off game. Boom, done. Everyone liked Tiny Tina from the her DLC from the first game. Make it that themed. You'll sell at least 3 million copies off of the story alone. You get to try your new mechanics, and then you could just cherry pick the good ones and add it to the next Borderlands.
Not a bad
Bada boom,
shout.
bada bing.
I mean, it just looks like Borderlands to me.
Yeah,
So like, I'm not a Borderlands guy, so it didn't really get me excited.
Same.
I don't know.
But
I just like the variety of guns. It's a unique
oh,
feeling in a game when
they
you just like
stressed that this is
pick
going to
up
have a lot.
so many. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna have a lot.
Yes, they
Yeah, yeah.
stressed that
It,
fact.
that that's the magical feeling of Borderlands right there. It's like, how is it that I'm picking up the 600th gun and I still don't recognize him like a repeat?
Mm. Well, after Tiny Tina Wonderlands, we got a little trailer. It started off with a woman and her cat. Turns out this is Forspoken. So we learned a little more about this game, which we've seen twice now, I believe. A woman gets transported to another world. She has a magic bracelet. I think the game looks sick. It looks like it's very focused on awesome magic spells, movement. Like there's a lot of scenes of her jumping like off mountains, doing like parkour almost. Lots of, you know, I mean, it's a third-person action adventure game again from Sony. Square Enix is making this one too. So like at this point, I'm kind of like, okay, these games are kind of looking similar. We have a theme going on here, which is like the thing people criticize your console for. Let's get some variety. But I can't even lie, like the game looks amazing graphically. I think it's gonna be funny because she's like pulled from regular Earth into like this mystical world. She's making like a bunch of jokes. So I'm here for it. It comes in spring 2022. Aman, what do you think of this?
Did you notice the voiceover was so out of sync?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, her lips were moving and you couldn't hear anything, and then 2 seconds later you could hear the voiceover.
Really? I didn't notice that.
It was so out of sync.
I thought the bracelet, the only thing I was thinking, I was like, the bracelet sounds a lot like Paul Bettany from for like Vision. He sounds like him. And I was like, I don't know if it is. That would be like a huge get.
That
But
would be cool.
I was like, it sounded a lot like him to me. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I know that Amy Hennig is involved in this game, and Gary Whitta, who wrote Rogue One, Star Wars, is writing for this game. So it's got star power behind it. And I forget the actress who the main character she's playing is based off, but she's really famous too and really good. I can't remember her name at the moment, but this game looks awesome to me. I'm super there for it. Okay. Then
Looks
we
great. Launches around the same time as another game that's coming up.
yes, I believe
PlayStation
so.
exclusive as well.
Then we got a Rainbow Six Extraction trailer, and I literally could not give two shits about this.
I was pissed they had that there. Why would you have that on a place? I didn't want that there.
Garrett, you unmuted?
Oh, I had no real thoughts. I just thought that you're gonna
Oh,
add. Yeah, I think that really Tom would be the one that would have the most to say about that, right? Because he played
yeah.
a bit of that. Like, our regent person for that category is not here with us.
Yeah, unfortunately. Nothing for me. Then we had the Alan Wake remake, or remaster, I should say, trailer, which we've already covered. Then we had GTA 5 next gen version trailer, improved graphics, enhanced gameplay, but it did get a sneaky delay until March 2022. So
It got delayed.
yes, that's what they snuck it in at the end of the trailer there. They were like, you can also experience GTA Online, and then it said coming March 2022. And I was like, I thought this game was coming out in November.
Oh, dude, it came out in 2008.
Yeah.
I mean,
It looked the same. It looked the same.
I just don't care about this game. I don't understand
it's
why
so
it's.
Three
bad.
freaking generations.
I just don't understand what people see in Grand Theft Auto in general, but especially Grand Theft Auto 5. There's something I'm missing here.
Oh man, I think it's hilarious. There's
combat.
that one meme that's going around online where they're like doing a off of like God filling the glasses, and it's just like working on GTA 5, and then there's like an empty glass of GTA 6.
Eh.
Then the bartender's like, "Could I have something different?" He's, "Oh yeah, sure." Pulls out a third glass and starts just filling up the GTA 2 and 3 remakes. Leaves GTA 6 alone. Goes back to number 5. It's just like,
That
oh my.
game won't come out until like
Oh no,
PS8.
GTA 6, dude, that will come out for our retirement.
PlayStation 8.
Like,
PlayStation 8 launch exclusive.
Wow. All right. Then we got with this one. I'm actually excited for. This was one of the. There were a few games in the first half of the show that I thought looked good, and this was one of them. Ghostwire Tokyo, coming from good old Xbox Game Studios. We got more of the trailer. Showed the main character. Looks like Tokyo being taken over by some sort of evil demonic force. His eye was kind of fading from existence, but first person. Shooting magic, fighting creatures. I don't really know what more to say. We didn't get a release date. We already know it's been delayed until 2022. But I think this game looks sick.
it looks exciting to me.
Yeah, all right. So I'm very much in the camp Deathloop. I don't give two shits about. I'm not gonna buy that.
Not at all.
I'm not gonna buy that for PS5. Maybe I'll try it when it comes to Game Pass in a year. But Ghostwire Tokyo, I'm like, I could save $70 and just wait a year to play it on Xbox when it comes to Game Pass, or
Yeah, it's gonna come on Game Pass the second it comes over to Xbox.
Yeah.
Anyways. That's what I'm waiting for.
yeah, I'm
And
just
I don't know. It's really giving me Grudge RPG vibes.
Yes.
Like if the movie Grudge was an RPG and you could go to Japan and you were an X-Files spiritual person.
Mhm.
I don't know, I'm getting really crazy vibes off this. I can't wait to play.
Yeah, depending on when it comes out. What else is around it, I might just drop the 70 and buy it and not wait because it looks that good to me. I think it looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I mean it's Tango. Doing horror games, they're just really good at it. Evil Dead 1 and no, Evil Within 1 and 2, brilliant. Oh yeah.
So if you haven't seen that, go check out that new trailer. If you're not excited for that, I don't know what to tell you. Then brought us back down. We got Eidos Montreal's Guardians of the Galaxy. How many fucking times do we have to see this game? Saw it at Square. We saw it at Nintendo. We get it. You're Star-Lord. You're cracking jokes. You're doing some combat. I'm so over it. I can't. I'm mildly intrigued, but also mildly I don't want anything to do with this game.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on it as well. Probably gonna wait for reviews.
Garrett, Guardians do anything for you?
Not really. I was originally a little interested in it, and then by the 7th or 8th commercial, I'm starting to get the feeling that before the game comes out, we'll know all but 3 bosses.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So I'm good. They took their own hype away from me.
Well, speaking of that, the next 2 trailers are also games that they need to stop showing. Stop. Vampire Blood Hunt. I'm so sick of seeing this game. Nobody people
Saw
want,
the last 4.
people want Bloodlines 2, right? And that got restarted. So
I want Bloodlines 2. I don't want Blood Hunt.
yeah. And then the next one is more egregious. Another fucking trailer for Deathloop. I put in
Deathloop needs to stop. How many different
I think
I
that
feel like there was one video where I swear that they showed it going through the same room 3 different times.
they
now.
already had a
different commercials.
dedicated state of play to Deathloop.
Guide going on.
They had a dedicated state of play for this game. It was 30 minutes long, all about Deathloop. If you're not sold on Deathloop after the 5 showcases for PlayStation it's been at, you're not interested. I'm sorry. Like, we don't need to see more of this game. I even put in our little group chat, I was like, I feel like I'm in a fucking death loop. Like, my lord.
I mean, Deathloop does have my interest because I love Arcane, Dishonored 1 and 2, great games. So yeah, I do want to play it, but see just too much of it. They just keep showing it again and again.
Mm-hmm. Now, Aman, I might need your help for the next one because I don't know what it was. It says I put some weird video recording for a game collaboration with Radiohead and Epic Games. I honestly haven't the slightest idea what this was. You might have missed it. It was called like Kid Mesia. Like
Those bunch of kids who are turning into animals.
no, that's further down. That's further
Oh, that
down.
one?
This literally didn't have gameplay. It was just text.
Oh yeah, okay. It was just like this really short cinematic.
Yeah, it was like a video recording. It said like live in the
Yeah.
top hand corner, and then it just
I
said,
thought it was Five Nights at Freddy's first. But yeah,
no,
I don't know what that was.
yeah, so weird. But you're right. After that came the kids playing a ukulele, little girl jumping inside of animals. That game's called like Tachia. I believe. I'm not sure the pronunciation, but this game looked awful. Like fucking awful in my opinion. Like the art style, not great. The jumping inside animals, okay, but you didn't show me what you were doing. I jump inside a bird, I fly. I jump inside a turtle, I swim. What's the actual game? What am I doing? Yeah. So then we get to the later this is the final bits of the show, and this is where it kind of turned up, I would say, maybe. We had the announcement, and this was kind of leaked beforehand, that Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy are being remastered for PlayStation 5 and PC. I don't give a shit about Uncharted, so this doesn't do anything for me. But this was leaked that, it was coming to PC. The leak said all 4 Nathan Drake plus Lost Legacy were coming to PC. That's not true. It's just Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy. But also the fact that they're remastering Uncharted 4 and then selling it again on PlayStation 5 when they can just put out a patch is a little shitty, I think. We've seen them put out patch for like God of War and Horizon. What makes Uncharted 4 different?
Money.
Money.
Sony wants money.
Yep. And then we had Herman Hulst tell us about storytelling. And this is where we get the exciting announcements. So we see the PlayStation.
He did say that there's 25 games in development in their first party studios.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a lot.
That's mind blowing.
Well, and yet when we go through this, you're gonna see why is
How
one
many did you say?
25.
Wait, what?
25.
games in development at their studios. It's a lot of games. They don't have 23 studios like Xbox does.
That's great.
But it's a little funny you say that, because why is one studio carrying them if that's the case? Because this announcement.
Insomniac.
Yep, first game announcement. PlayStation Studios logo, Insomniac Games, Marvel logo. Everyone's thinking, oh, this is Spider-Man 2. Nope. This is a fucking Wolverine game.
I did not expect that. Wow. I was impressed. But like it probably won't come out till like 2025.
Oh yeah, there was no date on it.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I under
It's like first a Punisher, and then I saw his hairy arms, and then
his bruised knuckles.
Claws came out. Oh, that was great.
Yep. So Insomniac is making a PlayStation 5 exclusive Wolverine game, just like they did with Spider-Man. This is often the superhero people talked about when they were like, what should Xbox do to retaliate? And people were like, Wolverine. Nope. PlayStation's got it.
Well, that's a bummer. Well, it'd be cool if they start like a shared superhero universe with Wolverine existing in the same universe as Spider-Man.
That would be cool.
That'd be cool.
Garrett, I assume this is... Oh, he left. So I think he's having some internet issues. Apologies, everyone. Not that you can see him, but he's popping in and out. You back, Garrett? You a little stable now, buddy? Nope. You there?
Nope, I think I'm back now. I don't know what was happening. Like the last 5 minutes, it would like compress everything you guys were saying for 10 seconds and then like give it to me in two. So you guys were
Interesting. Uh, well, we were talking about how
bits for the last
Insomniac.
5 minutes. I don't know.
We're
But
talking.
hey, I'm back now, everyone. What was the question?
I was going to ask you what you think about Insomniac making a PlayStation 5 exclusive Wolverine game.
I'm just glad that it's not number two of that hits. Like Jesus, man, I swear I have like dyslexia. Their main series,
Spider-Man?
dude, Punk. No, for Xbox.
Sunset Overdrive?
Sunset
Okay,
Overdrive, right?
Sunset Overdrive. I'm just glad that it's not Sunset Overdrive 2, to be honest.
I don't think it was ever going to be that.
That is supposedly in the making.
I
No,
don't.
it's not.
Well,
Amon, sometimes you just need to lie to me.
we're gonna the next announcement, because we're gonna go back to Insomniac, but Polyphony showed off Gran Turismo. I don't think anyone cares about that here. But then again, we
It
get
looks shit compared to Forza. It looks shit compared to Forza.
then we get the announcement for Spider-Man 2, officially confirmed, 2023, developed by Insomniac. I don't know how the fuck they're managing all these projects. They've already put out Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank in this year alone, and then they have Spider-Man 2 coming 2023 and that Wolverine game, and I assume they'll do something else along with that, knowing them. Oh my god, don't even tease me. But
Yeah.
the trailer
I'm
showed,
hyped, man.
yeah,
I'm hyped.
trailer showed Spider-Man and Miles Morales beating baddies down together, and then out of the shadows comes Venom, and it was hype
The voice.
as
Did anyone
shit.
notice the voiceover was done by Raven the Hunter? The Russian accent.
That's what I thought. It sounded like him.
Yeah. That was cool.
Uh,
Venom looks sick.
Venom, yeah.
Hype.
2023. That's a lot sooner than I expected, considering that's a little over a year away now. Could be the end of 2023. I imagine it will be, but it's they're pumping them out at Insomniac. I do not understand that. That has to be the greatest deal for an acquisition. They paid like 229 million or something.
That was wow. Great return on investment.
Yeah, they're literally carrying the PlayStation 5 right now on their backs.
Exactly.
But then we end the show with God of War Ragnarok. We see Kratos sharpening arrows. Atreus comes up. He sounds older. He looks older. He's complaining that Ragnarok's coming. He's like, why aren't we doing anything, Dad? We see, what's her name? Freya, the witch from the first game, coming to attack. Assume she's trying to get revenge for us killing Baldur. There's dog sledding in the game now.
That looked sick.
Yeah, it looked really cool. They're going to look for the old God of War. It looks like he has some grappling hook stuff going on with the Blades of Chaos. And then we see the end of the last game where Thor shows up. And it's officially confirmed, God of War Ragnarok. We already know it's coming next year. I thought they said that the title wasn't Ragnarok, but here it is, God of War Ragnarok.
Easy. Well, I mean, the visuals don't look pretty much the same as the 2018 God of War.
Okay, I'm glad you say that. I that's what I thought too. I was like, this looks just like God of War, but
That's
like
why,
more.
Yeah, that's why it's probably cross-gen, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it didn't blow me away. Like, I love God of War. I'm gonna play this, but the way everyone was hyping it up, I expected something like revolutionary, something like crazy.
Exactly.
And maybe there will be at future showcases, but right now it kind of looked like just more God of War 2018 with a few more attacks.
Yeah, basically.
So that's all she wrote. That is the PlayStation Showcase, and excuse me, overall my thoughts are there's a lot of garbage in there. There's a few good games that I'm excited for, mainly the Insomniac ones, and then Forspoken, Ghostwire, and that Project Eve game look really interesting. But like out of like the 18 announcements, I pick out maybe 5 that I actually cared about. So I think they could have done better. I don't think it was, smash out of the park, mind blown showcase, especially because a lot of these didn't have release dates. They literally were just announcements. So I don't think it was, there's still nothing to play on my PlayStation 5 this fall or winter. And like, when the hell am I going to get something?
Yeah. No, there's the Death Stranding director's cut.
No, I don't want to kill myself. Thank you very much. I'll pass on that. But I don't know. They didn't wow me. I wanted to be wowed, and they didn't wow me. It's not the same feeling
I
like
think they needed one more new announcement, like in a new Infamous or a Sly Cooper, something like that.
yeah, it's not the same feeling I had after the Xbox E3 showcase where I was like, that was amazing. Like so much good stuff to look forward to.
Well, I think what they should have done, they should have started with God of War Ragnarok.
I mean, we like Xbox started with Starfield. They set the tone.
Yeah, exactly. Then end with
Spider-Man. They
either
could end with
or
Spider-Man.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have double punch Insomnia. That would have been fine. That would have been a fine ending. But I do think they needed something a little, like another new IP or like you said, Infamous,
probably.
Sly Cooper.
Something did leak just moments before the show. There was a listing for Ben's new game.
Oh.
It's Men in Black.
Oh yeah, I've seen the Men in Black leaks. They've been going around the rumors this week. I hope that's not true because I literally don't. I mean, I like Men in Black. I like the movies, but I don't want to play a game based on Men in Black.
They could do something cool with it, like if they make it like an RPG, you create your own character, and enter the Men in Black universe. It'd be good, but
yeah. Well, that is all she wrote, and I think it's about time we wrap this up, guys. I got Tales of Arise to play, so Aman, where can they find you?
You can find me at Anman_M05 on Twitter.
Garrett, if you're there, where can they find you? You can find him at WaybornG, everyone. That's his Twitter and gamer tag. He's having some connection issues. Apologies. And you can find me at The Muffin Mon. That's a 1 and 7 I and an O and 7 A. We will see you next week. We will be back live. And remember, after next week is our 50th episode, and we do have something special going on. So this was a little more of a light episode, not much news, a little more mellow, just going through everything. But we hope you enjoyed it. Please come back next week. Going to keep making the podcast better for you guys. And make sure to go drop us a review over on Apple to help us grow. We will see you next week. Goodbye.